Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Tonight's story, we welcome back a good friend of the show, Born Beach, from over on Reddit, No Sleep. And as always, please do let us know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. It really does help build the channel and our community further. And why not hashtag TeamFEAR and DMT's Cryptid Crew. And so, with that aside, let's get into tonight's story. And title. I inherited a lighthouse in the woods, and something terrifying wants to take it. Part 1. Let's get straight into that. My brother killed my mother. He did it in the shadow of the lighthouse. He did it in the dark, where you couldn't see the ivy twisting up the lighthouse bricks, where you couldn't see anything but the night and those things that wished to be seen within it. He split her open at the ribs. He shoveled her insides into his mouth, starting with her lungs, before finishing with her heart. I know this because I watched him do it. Wesley smiled at me while he ate, the sweeping beam of the lighthouse casting his features into an ethereal glow. I'm doing this for you, little brother, he rasped between mouthfuls. I'm doing this for all of us. Someday you'll understand. That was an eternity ago. 30 years, give or take, and I still don't understand. I doubt I ever will. I was only 3 years old at the time. What I was doing there with Wesley, how I even got there, I can't recall. It's a labyrinth of memories, a maze I've never stepped inside for fear of losing myself within it. All I know for certain is that Harriet found us, my sister. She wandered down from the cottage, calling our names for supper. And I remember her lantern bobbing in the black, a light spilling across us, a look of nausea as she saw Wesley's blood-stained teeth and our mother's twitching limbs. The scream she loosed sent ravens flying from afar. Her father came running. He appeared with a hatchet. I think he would have taken Wesley's head if the bastard hadn't run. He tore off into the dark. He ran right into the phantom wood, that clutch of pines and oaks where we were forbidden to enter. And that was the last time any of us ever saw him. He's dead, Father told us. The wood devoured him the same as he devoured her. And if you ask my sister, she'll say it wasn't my fault. Harriet insisted there was nothing I could have done, that I was only 3 years old, and Wesley was 17, and if I'd so much as made a peep, he'd have killed me too. But Father insists differently. Or at least he did. He's dead now. Harriet found him strung up from a tree, hanging limply in the autumn sunset, his corpse dressed in hungry crows, 2 sticks jutting from his eyes. The sigils had been carved roughly into his cheeks. Pieces of him that belonged inside were spilled out onto the yellow grass, while his intestines wound a twisting trail towards the phantom wood. I won't follow them, Harriet wrote in her letter. The intestines, I mean. I know that's what he wants me to do. Whatever killed him. I saw him speaking with the decrepit one recently, down by the creek. But you don't think that she could be involved, do you? The implication sent a shiver across my spine. The decrepit one was a creature my family knew well, an ancient being that held vast, terrifying power. She had long sought control of our land, our lighthouse, and I hated to think of what she might do if she got that. But this didn't sound like her. The decrepit one cared little for theatrics. She took lies with ruthless efficiency, not ritual torment. This was different. Whatever had killed Father had done so with rehearsed cruelty, taking care to leave a spectacle behind. It wasn't murder. It was a desecration. Father's corpse represented a message. But what was that message? I couldn't say. Harriet had her own thoughts. It's an omen, Jasper. Even I know that. You can't run from this. You can't hide from it because we are tied to this land. Our blood, It belongs here. And tears pockmarked the page, and writing became sloppy, haphazard and hardly legible beneath the smudged ink. Father's words echoed in my mind, the last words he'd spoken to me. He told me that abandoning Gloomfall meant consequences far beyond our land, and that the horrors our lighthouse kept at bay would begin to seep into the rest of the world, corrupting it and haunting it, eventually possessing it. You want the truth? The truth is that I'm afraid that whatever killed Dad is going to come back, and when it does, I'm not sure I can deal with it alone. I need you, Jasper. I've never asked you to come home, but I'm asking now, if only for a while. Think about it, would you? Harry. My eyes scanned the words, once, twice, half a dozen times. Tears leaked down my cheeks, and I wiped them away, crumpling the letter in my fist. 10 years, 10 long years I've been gone, adjusting to normal life, and forgetting my nightmares, moving past my guilt and finding a slice of happiness. And now, this, Harriet was calling me back. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I seethed, pacing my bedroom. My mind raced for a reason to throw it in the trash, to forget I'd ever read it. I hated Gloomfall, the lighthouse, the wood. But what I hated most of all was that Harriet was right. Father's death, well, it was an omen. I knew that better than anyone. Omens belonged to me. Father called them a gift, but if he'd seen them, he'd know they were a curse. And I'd seen things. Always. As a boy, I saw our chicken stricken with disease long before the illness ever came. I saw storms before we ever felt the rain. I saw creatures, awful and twisted, picking apart travellers through the phantom wood, and feasting on their bones and drinking deep of their blood. I saw all of it the same way I'd seen my brother eat my mother, a week before her heart ever touched his lips. Tragedy, well, that was all the omens were. They told stories of grief and pain, and I thought if I had left Gloomfall, then maybe I could save my family their torment, salvage what remained. And I hoped that deep down, all of the terrible things we suffered were actually my fault, and that I just took my omens and left, and then all of it would go away. Idiot, I said to the mirror, shaking my head. Nothing but wishful thinking, was it? I knew then that my life wasn't the sort of bad dream I got to wake up from. I never would. The lighthouse was calling to me, pulling at my mind and begging me to return to it. And so I did. Like a whirlwind, I swept my keys from the counter and flew down the apartment steps. I couldn't stop and think. Or if I did, I might do the smart thing and reconsider. I might turn back. I flung open my car door and got inside, and twisted the key into the engine. It rumbled to life. My foot hit the gas pedal, and I backed out of the driveway. Then I backed out of the city, my job, my happiness. I backed out of the only peace I'd ever known, and hit the open road, driving towards hell on earth. I drove 1,000 miles, and then I drove 1,000 more. I drove on until the road turned to gravel, to dirt, until it ended in the heart of the forgotten forest. Only then did I hit the brakes. A knot of trees rose up before me, their limbs twisting and interweaving as if to create an archway. And from their branches hung red and orange leaves, swaying weakly with the cold breath of the autumn. And I gazed into the tangle of wood, that ocean of darkness so pure that even my headlights couldn't pierce its surface. My fingers trembled as I opened the car door, my knees nearly buckling as I took my first steps onto that ancient land. My breath fogged in front of me. Even here, on the outskirts, I felt fear seeping into me. It infested me like insects, scurrying across my mind. And such was the magic of the phantom wood. I pulled my jacket tighter about myself, stalking around my car to the dull crunch of leaves. My fingers found the cold metal of the trunk, and I opened it. Inside was a lantern along with a bag of letters. I'd written them hastily. They described things I was looking forward to, things I cherished. My father taught me long ago that safe passage through the phantom woods didn't come freely. You had to prove you deserved it. You needed to light your way with your will to live. I lit a letter aflame, stuffing it inside the lantern housing. It crackled. The paper curled as black smoke swam upwards, providing me with a dim glow. It wasn't much. It was hardly enough to see my own 2 feet, but it'd have to do. My only hope was I'd written enough letters to last me the trip. Gloomful was hours away. And if I had more time, I would have written a surplus, but I didn't. Truth was, I had no time at all. Like I said, omens, well, they belong to me. I own them. The night before Harriet's letter had arrived, I'd been visited by a new omen, a fresh one in the form of a dream. In it, I saw a being, a vast creature with eyes of burning embers and long, crooked limbs. It sat perched above a body, a woman's. Her hair was the colour of chestnuts, and her eyes were an ocean blue. But she had a head that was lying 6 feet from her corpse. A head that belonged to my sister. I inherited a lighthouse. Part 2. Let's get straight into that. The wood was a blanket of darkness. Tall trees reached into the sky, their branches still in the narrow shafts of moonlight. I navigated with my lantern alone. In it, I burned my letters of safe passage. I'd hoped that brought enough, but even now, a half hour into the journey, I felt my bag emptying faster than expected. Not good. My heart thrummed as I moved through the brush. It was a single path to Gloomful, a narrow trail that was rarely travelled except by my family and those like us. It led me to the lighthouse, to safe haven, but only if I could find it. Lost, said a voice. I whirled about, raising a lantern and squinting into the murky shadows. Who's there? Laughter met my ears. Playful. A shape appeared, something bipedal and canine. The Dogman. And I drew back, pushing my lantern forward as if to prove a point. This grants me safe passage. You can't harm me. More laughter. The Dogman dropped onto all fours. It was the size of a small bear, and as it neared, I saw its long teeth gleaming in the lantern glow. You've safe passage, so long as you can carry that. It'll run out before long. It lifted a human-like hand to its teeth, picking at them with a black claw. And I can't wait. Fucking hell. I didn't have any silver on me, which meant even if I could fight this thing, I couldn't kill it. I had left before considering what I was walking into. Foolish. Stupid. Now I was paying the price. I felt my bag around my shoulder, crunching the letters in my grip. There were fewer than I thought. You're going to be waiting a while, I lied, trudging on. The Dogman didn't answer. Its padded feet moved through the brush behind me, softly passing over dead leaves as it sniffed at the air, sniffed at me. And I readjusted my grip on the lantern. How far did I have to go? Not too far. I still hadn't found the damn path. You're right to be afraid, said the Dogman. That's so. I glanced over my shoulder, but I couldn't see it in the dim light. It was moving just beyond my vision, out there in the dark. Your old man was just the beginning. Things are shifting here. Wheels are turning. You're a nameless haunt, I told it. What would you know? It snapped its jaws. I stumbled in surprise, almost extinguishing my lantern as I fell. More laughter, this time howling. And you're a fucking coward, nameless haunt or not. I'll have your heart in my teeth by the end of the hour. Bet on it. I got to my feet, fishing in my bag for a fresh letter to light a flame. Probably sooner, I thought. Where the hell is this path? Wait. There, up ahead. A winding creek. I walked along it 10 years ago when I first left Gloomfall. If I followed that stream, it'd lead to my family's land, and the lighthouse that sat upon it. I jogged towards it. My chances of survival just went from 0 to slim, and I considered that a welcome improvement. She's next to you, you know, the Dogman said, rising up on its hind legs. It had to be 7 feet. It kept pace with me, its jaws salivating while its cold eyes buzzed with hungry anticipation. Without your old man, the girl's as good as dead. Wow. Certainly another one. Wow. What an intriguing, chest-pounding, and superbly written story there from our good friend, Born Beach. From over on Reddit, No Sleep. Once again, a big thank you, Born, for allowing me to narrate your work on the show. Each and every time is such a thrilling read with intriguing characters and spine-tingling action. Guys and girls, I'll leave a link in the description box below, at which you can grab Born Beach's brand new book featuring some of his most popular stories, the perfect present for any horror fan. Of course, Born, I hope you enjoyed this rendition and really do look forward to any updates in this incredible series in the future. Well, guys and girls, as ever, you know the drill. Please do let us know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. It really does help build the channel and our community further. And why not hashtag TeamFEAR and DMT's Cryptid Crew. Now, if you can pen a story packing that much punch, then please do get in touch with me at the contact email, which is, as on screen, contactthedeadone@gmail.com. I really look forward to hearing from you. I hope you're all fighting fit and are looking forward to the Christmas time celebrations with friends and family. Whatever it is that you do, I hope you're surrounded with loved ones and friends, and eating plenty of food and necking back a good few drinks. Big thank you for your constant support, guys. Your kind words, your likes and shares really is appreciated. But above all, remember, be safe, not sorry.